today's video we're going to learn how to create an app for optical character recognition using MlKit and Jetpack Compose. Before actually starting the video, please, if you're new to the channel, subscribe to the channel as it is a pretty new channel and that will help us grow. Before waiting any further, let's jump straight into it. So let's first of all see what is this MlKit which we're going to use to create our test recognition app. So if you search for this particular website, which is developers.google.com/ml-kit, you will land to this particular page where you can see there are different types of APIs, which is basically vision APIs and some natural language APIs. And you can see these are the various things which can be done using these APIs, like barcode scanning, face detection, image labeling, text recognition, data link recognition, and all these things. So we are going to use this text recognition to our app. So if we open this, you will land to this particular page, and if you go to the Android option, you will get the entire document. So we are going to use this to create our entire app. I've already created the app. I will go through how I actually created the app using this entire document and how I integrated this in the Jetpack Compose. So let's get straight into the code. So this is what the app will actually look like. This is the initial state of the app where we haven't uploaded the image and there is no text that has been extracted. So before diving into the actual design and the logic part, let me tell you first that I have already added all the dependencies required by the Firebase. These are the basic dependencies in this particular file as well as the class path added to this build.gradle. I will provide all the required document related to the integration of Firebase in the description as well as all these dependencies in the description. Please go through that. And after integrating the Firebase app with the Android app, we need to add few permissions in the manifest before we start. We're adding two permissions. The first is the internet so that our app can connect to the Firebase. And second is to read the external storage. Once we have done that, we also need to add a metadata, which is this, which is having the name com.google.mlkit.vision.dependencies and the value as OCR. So once we have done that, then all of these, once we have done all of these things, we can jump to the coding part. So let's first of all run the application and see what it is actually doing. So if I click on this button, it will open up the local storage. You can see my drive is opened up because last time I opened my drive. But for you, it this not might be the case. You will get a gallery and you can then open up the respective folder where you have an image. So this is the image I'm going to use. So when I select the image, you can see it is getting displayed in the app and you see this particular icon is getting displayed once the image is uploaded, which wasn't there before. So if I click on this icon, it will extract the text from the image. So if I click on the share icon, you can see the different options available to us. You can click on these different apps and text will get shared to those particular apps, or you can simply copy it and paste to whatever app you want to paste the text to. So this is the entire walkthrough of the app. We are clicking the button, we are uploading the image, we are clicking this button, we are fetching the text, we are clicking this button, we are sharing the text. So for doing this, let's first of all go through the UI part, and along with it, I will explain the logic as well. So first thing first, I'm using a scaffold and I've created just one composable for this app, which is this main screen. So I'm passing as the content. And for this particular composable, what I have done is, let me minimize this. So I've taken one column, which is this entire thing, which is having two rows. The first is the white part, the second is the gray part. The first row is taking three part of the screen, the second is taking one part of the screen. And for the first row, which is this white part, as I said, is having a box. And inside the box, I have an icon, which is the add icon, which is always visible. And for people who don't know what box is a composable with which you can basically overlap different composables. So one of its main features is that you can overlap different composables on top of one another. Okay. So inside the box, I'm using an icon button where I basically align the icon to the bottom start, as you can see. And then this is the actual icon. Now for the on click part, I as so what should happen if I click on the plus icon, the gallery should open. So what is happening is we're calling select image and we're calling the function and passing image slash asterisk, which is basically the type of URI we want to fetch from the gallery. This I have used this particular variable, which is calling register for activity result, which is a newer way to the older on activity result function. So for this, what we need to do is we need to pass the contract and the function, which is this dot get content, which in turn gives back the URI of the image that has been selected. And what we are doing is we are updating the URI with this. So we are basically updating the local URI with the received URI. So the local URI is defined at the very top, which is image URI, which is of type mutable state, and the initial value is null. So what is happening once the URI has been received, we are updating the image URI. So as of now, what we have done is we have clicked the button, we have selected the image, and the image URI has been updated. So once that has been updated, this particular logic will now be true. So once this is true, we are going to display the actual image, which you can see. And for displaying this, we are using the remember image painter, which is a function of the coil library, and we are passing the image URI, as well as we are displaying this icon image, which is which is used for fetching the text once it is clicked on, and we are going to display this. And for this, what I have done is I've aligned it to the bottom center, and this is the icon for this particular icon button. And after that, we want to click on this icon and want to fetch the text. So for doing that, we are calling this particular logic. But before that, we need to understand or we need to declare one variable, which is this, which is recognizer. So this is the variable which is going to actually recognize the text. So if you can see, it says text recognition dot get client, and in the bracket it says text recognition recognizer options dot default options. So once you write this, it will give you back a text recognizer object, and then we are going to use that object to actually recognize the text. So once that is declared, if you go back, you can see what we are doing is basically we are calling recognizer.process, which takes in an image. And this is not a normal image, it takes in something called input image. So what we have to do is we have to convert the image URI to the input image. For that, we just need to call this particular function, which is from file path, and pass the context and the actual image URI. So once we have done that, we will get back the input image object. We are passing that input image object over here. We are attaching the success listener. We are attaching the failure listener. And on success, we are updating the local text with the received text. So that the local text is basically a mutable state, and it is having this scan text will appear here as the default text, which you saw earlier when there was no images added. So what is happening now is that once we have uploaded the image, we click on this button, and if we have successfully fetched the text from the image, we are updating the text, the local mutable state text. So once that is updated, what will happen? This will reflect in the text component or the text composable in the bottom gray part, as we have made sure that the text is equal to the text change.value in the bottom gray part. So what will happen once the success listener is receiving the text, we are updating the local mutable state text change variable. Once that is updated, it will update the text composable at the bottom. And in case there is some sort of error or some sort of failure, we will log it. And once the text is displayed, what we can do is we can then share the text. You can modify the logic also. For example, let's say if and only if the text change value is let's say if and only if we have received the text, then only you can display the share text. But then only you can display the share icon, but it's totally up to you. You can play with the code however you want. So once the text is displayed, what we are going to do is we are going to click the share icon. So once we click the share icon, it will basically call this function, which takes the text as the parameter. So if you go to this particular function, it's basically a simple intent call. We have created a empty intent object. We're setting the action as action send. We are calling the function of put extra, passing extra text and share text. Share text is basically the text you want to share. We are setting the type of text, and then we are calling the create chooser so that it opens up the bottom sheet which you saw, which was displaying the applications which can actually share the text. And then we are just calling, or we are just starting the intent by calling start activity and passing the intent. So that's pretty much it. You can say it's pretty simple, not much to do. Just a simple UI for understanding the concept. One column, two rows, creating two mutable state variables, declaring a recognizer object, and using this register for activity result for actually fetching the URI from the gallery and just creating the intent. So if I to quickly give a recap, what we're doing is we are clicking the button, opening the gallery, uploading the image from the gallery, clicking on this button, fetching the text, displaying the text, clicking on this button, and then sharing the text finally to the different apps. So that's pretty much it for the text recognizer part. So if you like this video, please feel free to give a thumbs up to the video by clicking on the like button below. And if you're new to the channel, please feel free to subscribe as it is a pretty new channel. So your subscription will help the channel to grow. So thank you, and we'll see you in the next video.